Welcome to the bold analysis. A close-up of Kericho Green Stadium will actually confirm to you why the Mashujaa Day celebrations there ended in a sad disarray. The reports about death of 4 Kenyans and tens who were injured in a stampede that happened there in the wee hours of Friday morning is a very clear indication that the organizers of that event actually made a mistake to settle on Kericho and on Kericho Green Stadium. Look at these photos. And I want you to look at this when you're seeing your screen. This is, it's not far. As in, if you look at the way this photo is taken, it was taken, the person who was taking this photograph was seated somewhere in the dais where William Ruto and the team, the dignitaries, were seated. And just right in front of them is pool of water. Muddy. And you look at this and say, this was Kericho Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think how, and this is the stadium where we spent millions to renovate or rather refurbish because an event was going on there. The real intention why these national celebrations were decentralized was to ensure that resources, when at least there would be resources going into those renovations. And how would people not die even in a small stampede, if that is how the stadium is looking like? I want you to imagine, it is that muddy and then there is a stampede. Something is simply not adding up. But let me just dwell in that stampede a bit. A story is being told here about a woman who was selling tea. Then, kwa bahati mbaya, he poured that tea into a jiko. And then out of that, those who were around that place thought that there is a tear gas canister that has been thrown and people started running. That story is neither here nor there. Because I've been trying to ask, I was just talking just before I even did this podcast by a community-based journalist from that place. And nimemuuliza, can you share, do you have a photo of that? Of that, even if you don't have that woman, because we not want to profile her, do you even have a photo of where that thing happened? And what happened in Kericho could be a possibility that people just wanted to get in, and security officers were trying to block, maybe to see how they could be organized, and then that's what might have caused the stampede. Or maybe they were trying to block. We'll have to look at that maybe sometime. Now, did you realize that that crowd was relatively gloomy? Unlike the hype that Rigathi Gachagua created there, when he told them the way they should expect guests and it's going to be, it's going to be a very huge event. Rigathi Gachagua was in Kericho for 2 consecutive days to hype the whole event. And even the time throughout his speech, of course, he did for the first time veered off from the strong political rhetoric against the opposition. He even tried to call Senator Cheriot, who is the senator from that place, but the crowd was just bored. I want to look at this video. Even the time he was calling William Ruto, the crowd was just another bored lot.
Hatutachoka rais na mimi na timu yetu kusema asanti kwa maombi yenu na vile mlituunga mkono tukapata nafasi ya uongozi. Watu ya Kericho, asanteni sana. Pia kabla nimwalike rais, pia nipongeze watu ya Kericho kwa sababu mlitupatia kiongozi chupavu, leader of the majority in the Senate, the Honorable Aaron Cheriot, ambaye anatusaidia pale na rais, na hata zile sheria rais ameidhinisha jana, yeye na viongozi wa Senate walichangia kiwango kikubwa. Kwa hivyo lazima tuseme asanti kwa huo kiongozi mlitupatia. Bila kuongea mengi, ningeuliza hizi nyote msimame, munisaidie kwa shangwe na vigelegele kumkaribisha Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Mr. President, you are most welcome to address the nation. Karibu.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Deputy President.
And so, that already could show you that even at that event, there was some tension that was going on. Now, I also paid attention, even throughout William Ruto's speech, William Ruto was going to Kericho. This is the first national celebration that I was going to do there since he was inaugurated as the president. And again, Kericho is one of his strongholds. You will actually expect that William Ruto is going to receive a very massive reception, and the place will be in total, the crowd will go frenzy at the site when they see William Ruto there. Unlike the only photos of William Ruto, convoy snaking through Kericho town, where we'll see those photos, we'll look at those photos. But when he mentioned even Mambo ni Matatu, this Mambo ni Matatu slogan has been trending. And you realize that whenever Ruto mentions it, people go frenzy. There was nothing.
Nitahakikisha ya kwamba pesa zenu munazolipa kwa ushuru, kwa jasho lenu, pesa zenu ambazo tunakusanya katika counties zetu, kwa levies, kwa taxes na kwa njia zingine zote, pesa zenu zitatumika kwa njia inayofaa, haitafujwa, haitaibiwa, wafisadi hawatanyemelea. Na tayari nimetangaza katika taifa letu la Kenya, na mtaona mambo hivi karibuni, ya kwamba wale wote wanahusika na kuiba pesa ya Wakenya na mambo ya ufisadi na mambo ya ukora, mambo yao ni matatu, na nyinyi mnajua vile nimesema. Kwa hivyo
there was nothing. And so you will actually realize that immediately this happened, he left, and there was no vigor. Now, I made another observation, and this is an observation that I want us to pay attention to. You will bear with me that I was in Embu during this one that was celebrated in May. I was in Embu. I visited Embu, so I attended that event. Now, when William Ruto and the team left, they held impromptu rallies alongside his deputy and a host of other politicians from Embu and from Mount Kenya. Now, today, for the first time, when William Ruto left Kericho Stadium, he was in his convoy alone, and Rigathi Gachagua, there is no photo of Rigathi Gachagua even coming out of the car to wave to the crowd or even tagging along the president. So the president left, he left alone. And if you look at these photos, I've captured, I've not taken these photos from anywhere. These photos, I've taken them from William Ruto's Facebook page. And when you look at these photos, he went through Kericho town, he was alone. What will you expect? You would expect a mini, some impromptu rally in Kericho town. But there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. He did not come, Rigathi Gachagua did not come off the car, even when they were in the stadium. He just got inside and left. So you could see some disconnect, because there is tradition of president meeting, holding some impromptu rally. He was alone, so he did not go with the deputy. Last observation. William Ruto's chief guest, the Mashujaa Day chief guest, was João Lourenço, the president of Angola. So the president of Angola arrived in this country yesterday. And I don't want to do rumors. Of course, he did not attend and was represented by Foreign Affairs, his Foreign Affairs CS. So Musalia Mudavadi yesterday, and I want to start here. Yesterday, Musalia Mudavadi shared this post. Today, I had the honor and privilege of receiving His Excellency João Lourenço, the President of the Republic of Angola, and Her Excellency Ana Dias Lourenço, the First Lady of the Republic of Angola, as they arrived in our country for a 2-day state visit. So the 2-day state visit was supposed to be today and probably tomorrow. So during the visit, His Excellency Lourenço will engage in a bilateral meeting with His Excellency William Ruto and will also be the chief guest at the Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kericho County. Kenya's foreign policy places great importance on Pan-Africanism as a strategic tool to address African challenges within Africa with African solutions. Now, look at these photos. The people, President of Republic of Angola was received in the country by the Foreign Affairs CS, Chief Cabinet Secretary come Foreign Affairs CS, Musalia Mudavadi. And in the first post, Mudavadi told the nation that that was going to be our chief guest. So today he missed the event, of course, represented by the Foreign Affairs CS, Anthony Tete. But maybe I decided to just to end the speculation, what exactly was going on. Today, 4 hours ago, this post was done by his social media team 4 hours ago, which was today on 20th. And this is what he's saying. Strengthening, and he shared the photo yesterday. This photo is from yesterday's meeting with Mudavadi. Strengthening and enlarge cooperation with our brothers and partners in Africa is a path worth taking. With Kenya, there is a lot that can and should be done. Hence, we are in Nairobi for fruitful talks with President William Ruto and Kenyan authorities at large. It's a state visit where we have legitimate expectations. Now, this post, there is something I want you to realize. They have failed to acknowledge that Mashujaa Day celebration. They would, even if not attending, and the president not attending, and he knew he was our chief guest, what would we have expected? That at the foot of this post, they would acknowledge that maybe we congratulate Kenya for celebrations, for their 60th celebration of Mashujaa Day, maybe acknowledging that event. This post was done today, and they've not acknowledged that event. Now, this brings to the question, something that we are asking. Was the Angolan president in the country for a state visit, or was he really supposed to be a chief guest? We may need to think about that. There is a high possibility that there is some mishap. Either the state Kenya team wanted him to attend as the chief guest, but he declined because he wanted to restrict himself to the state visit. Because look at his post. It's a state visit where we have legitimate expectations. What is the tone of that? What is the tone of that? Is there someone that amemkosea mwenye amesema there are no expectations? And was that Mashujaa Day, being chief guest, that Mashujaa Day celebration, not one part of the expectation? You will see something here, that there is some mishap. There is some diplomatic mishap behind João Lourenço not attending. And my guess could be, they might have changed their mind and believe that there is no way they were going to share a podium and attend that with the president. Then tomorrow they start a state visit. I think it will not make sense. It will not make sense. If Kenya wanted him to be a chief guest, I want to believe that state visit would have started yesterday, akiwa hiyo parade ya State House, wa make speech na president, they make those bilateral agreements, then today he becomes our chief guest, then he leaves. I think that's how it would be. But an expectation that I attend a kind of president, then what will be the essence of the state visit? Something is there. And that mishap could also have been the reason why there was, even the faces at that event were a bit gloomy. Now, do you realize, and I want to ask, and I just want to be very honest, the 53-minute speech by President Ruto, do you see anything Mashujaa in it that could not be said, apart from renaming Kericho Stadium to some Shujaa, renaming that stadium after Shujaa in Kericho? What else made that speech a Shujaa Day speech? And without no pun intended, the messaging and his speech veered off from the Mashujaa Day and was publicity platform for universal health coverage programs. And that is why even Rigathi Gachagua was restricted to non-political speeches. The speech, what William Ruto knew was all the cameras were heading there. That event had national coverage because there was, all the TV stations were live there, and it's known as a Mashujaa Day celebration. Everyone is at home. What they decided to do is to use it to tell the country their health plan. And even if celebrating Shujaas, what I was expecting is they will celebrate Shujaas then even from the health sector. We have some good surgeons here that currently did some very good job on some surgeries. We have doctors that can be celebrated. I did not say that. Maybe someone can confirm that to me. 3 things went wrong at that event. 3 things went wrong. Number 1, Kericho Green Stadium was not the right venue because it was not ready. Despite of the state putting money, allegedly spending millions in it, that stadium was not ready. Look at the way it was. I've seen someone saying, making a joke that maybe the Angolan president aliangalia matope, and someone was also saying that when that incident was reported of a stampede, he felt like maybe there is a problem. That's why he did not go there. But my first problem in the stadium, if we wanted to take it in Rift Valley, we have many stadiums in Rift Valley that are ready. We could even go to Afraha. Anyway, it's not far from there. So that's number 1. Number 2, the shareholding clash made the shareholding thing that William Ruto made in his speech, made something on shareholding, and his messaging on that shareholding created some very awkward moments. In fact, according to me, Rigathi Gachagua was not in his real element. Yes, you're not, the way he was put, not doing politics, not speaking anything politics, he found himself not in a very good space. And one of the things could be that even the visits he was making there, William Ruto team could have been uncomfortable with it. You know, he made those visits there when Ruto was in China and was saying, I'm in charge. Well, I don't even know what exactly he was doing there. But that seems to be it. Something went wrong. Number 3, the organizers of that event created, or not created, by accident, there was a mishap in diplomatic arrangement. There was a mishap. And that's why that event did not have a chief guest. The last one in Embu, the Comoros president was our chief guest. On this one, something went wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones. I'm seeing the number, it's 4. And those who have also suffered injuries, may you heal. And we pray for recovery. Thank you.